Welcome to Quick Hits, where we talk about classic sports media in a bunch of different forms. Today, we'll be talking about Inside the NBA, TNT's NBA studio show. While it's still going on, it's still a classic. But before we get to all of that, let's take a quick hit. Inside the NBA started out in 1989. They had a series of hosts before Ernie Johnson took over the full-time job. Then after he retired in 1998, Kenny Smith joined him. Smith had been a pretty decent NBA player as a role player. He won 2 titles with the Houston Rockets. Then one of the biggest quote machines in the history of sports, Charles Barkley, who was a Hall of Fame player, he joined the show in 2000. And then the show hit like another level in 2011 when Shaquille O'Neal came along. Shaquille O'Neal, in many people's eyes, is the greatest big man in the history of the NBA. All 4 of them are extremely talented in their own right, and the show as a whole is just so damn entertaining. It's one of a kind. It cannot be replicated. It's because of those 4 individuals and that particular crew running the show in such a free-flowing way. When the 4 of them are up there, Ernie Johnson is the only one who has knowledge of the script and what the rundown should be, like which highlights they're going to show, what they're going to do next. He's the only one of the 4 of them that's actually in production meetings. All 3 of them come in completely unscripted all the time. Keep in mind, this is like an NBA studio show. You tune into NBA games to watch basketball. But there were many people, myself included, that tuned into NBA on TNT so I could watch Inside the NBA. There's a lot of times that Inside the NBA is more enjoyable and more entertaining than the basketball game itself. Also, the NBA on TNT music is just, it's awesome. I love it. There's just too long of a list of things to love about Inside the NBA. They have incredible segments. Shackton a Fool is one of the most popular ones, where it's basically sports bloopers. Shackton is like a verb now. There's also Gone Fishing, which is just like the graphic that they put up at the end of the season for the teams that did not make the playoffs. It's because they're going fishing. They got plenty of time to go fishing now. There's also EJ's Nito's Stat of the Night. That's just where sometimes he like brings up random cool stats, or basically they do like a game show for either Charles Barkley or Shaquille O'Neal. But this show also had the ability to talk about uncomfortable things as well. After the election, both in 2016 and 2020, Ernie Johnson had cancer. Most notably, though, after the tragic and sudden death of Kobe Bryant, Shaq, who formed possibly the best 1-2 duo ever in NBA history between Shaq and Kobe. Shaq was raw and honest, and he wasn't afraid to share his true emotions on TV, and he spoke openly to it with the Inside crew, and he told them that he doesn't talk to them as much as he should. And it really showed the true heart of this show. There are just too many legendary moments on this show. The moment where Shaq ate a really spicy hot chip, he claimed he wasn't making a face, but he most definitely was. There was the story Charles told of getting a bracelet in the steam room from a guy he didn't know. The clip that went extremely viral after a supposed fight after a Rockets-Clippers game. The reporter used the term police presence when describing the tense situation with a team trying to get into another team's locker room. Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal absolutely lost it because that was the first time that they'd ever heard the term police presence regarding an NBA game. There's also the annual show at the beginning of the season called Who He Play For, where Charles Barkley gets the name of a random NBA player and has to guess which team he's playing for. He gets them mostly wrong. It is very much still a classic, even though the show is still going right now. Let me know which sports classics you want to see next. See you next time on the next Quick Hits.
Presented by Tonique.